respectively the President of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, and our President, our very own President, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished business colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to deliver a short and brief message for and on behalf of South African business, and particularly business that is represented in this delegation on the state visit today. So as not to break the continuum of the resolutions that my colleague Richard was reading out, I'm going to continue from paragraph 7, and once completed, the good news is it only goes up to number 11, incidentally. Otherwise we can be here the whole day. So it stops at number 11, and then I will offer some closing remarks again on behalf of business and those that participated in the forum. So paragraph 7 reads as follows, and it continues from the earlier paragraphs. This forum underscored the role of communication, ICT, and IT-enabled services as a facilitator for intra-Africa trade, and called on the governments to expand the laying down of digital infrastructure and harmonization of regulatory frameworks in this sector so as to increase intra-Africa trade. Paragraph 8, the forum identified potential areas of cooperation and collaboration between the private sectors of our two countries, particularly in joint financing of infrastructure projects following the public-private partnership PPP model. These projects cut across ports, railways, roads, and energy, and provide the firm foundation for enhanced trade and investments. In this regard, ladies and gentlemen, the forum proposed the establishment of a special fund by our two governments to support preparatory work for strategic infrastructure projects that will ease project financing by the financial institutions. Paragraph 9. President, I'm sounding like a lawyer, like you are, going through all these paragraphs, but paragraph 9, the forum highlighted specific opportunities which could be harnessed for enhanced economic growth in Eastern and South Africa, including the automotive and component manufacturing, agro-processing, trade in services, industrialization, and inter-trade between our two countries. Paragraph 10, the forum took note of the progress of the growth of trade volumes since our last meeting in Pretoria 12 months ago. The captains of industry therefore appreciated the importance of the forum as a platform for exchanging views and ideas of jointly working together to harness the many opportunities that exist between our two countries. Furthermore, the forum underscored the importance of cooperation and complementarity between the private sector of our two countries and the need to meet regularly to deepen these ties. Paragraph 11, which is the final para, the forum recognized the importance of agriculture and value addition in the two economies and the whole continent, and called on financial institutions to increase their lending to these sectors. In this regard, financial institutions committed to develop unique products that suit the agricultural sector. That completes the resolutions and the conclusions from the forum earlier today. I'm going to just very briefly offer some closing remarks, as I said, on behalf of South African business and all of those of my colleagues who were present in the forum. The first order of business, may I convey on behalf of South African business our congratulations to His Excellency Dr. William Ruto on your recent election, and in particular what we're excited by as business, because business always wants certainty and predictability and stability. We wish to commend you and your government for the transition that took place from the previous to the current administration. These are all very positive investment signals for us. May I also add that a key thematic during the forum, and this was punctuated throughout the entirety of the forum, is the lessons learned from COVID. Africa found itself at the back end of the queue on many and most occasions, and we recognize as business the role that we need to play to establish value chains, supply chains, manufacturing capabilities and capacities, expertise and skills on the continent. We can never ever afford ever again to be on the back foot the way we were, particularly in healthcare. So drawing from that lesson, the biggest lesson communicated during the forum was the need to view Africa as 1.3 billion people. And in fact, in a mere 20 years' time, 1 out of every 6 citizens on this planet will be an African. We need to aggregate our markets. We need to look at pooled procurement opportunities. And our simple call to our governments here today is we need to accelerate local procurement and aggregated procurement on a pooled basis for the continent across multiple sectors. That's a clarion call we'd like to put out to the 2 presidents and heads of government. Lastly, before I take my seat, we're very conscious of some of the more operational matters which we discussed at length. These are all operational matters, of course, that will move the needle in business. My colleague Richard has alluded to some of these, and I'd like to just very quickly invite the Group Chief Executive Officer of Transnet in a minute or so, just to highlight some of the supply chain and more operational issues that will move the needle. We listened very carefully to 50 days to get avocados to South Africa, and Portia's got all the answers for you now. Thanks, Portia.